Lewis Hamilton just made a surprising statement that has sent shockwaves through Ferrari. The timing couldn't be worse for the Italian team. This came just hours before the Monaco Grand Prix, one of the most important races in Formula One. Right. After an intense qualifying session that had everyone on edge, Hamilton spoke up and didn't hold back. This wasn't the usual post-qualifying talk. What he shared exposed not just a small mistake, but a serious communication mix-up within Ferrari that could cost them dearly. The whole paddock is buzzing over the issue now. The trouble started in the first round of qualifying in Monte Carlo, a track where every fraction of a second matters, and one small error can be the difference between success and disaster. During a fast lap, Max Verstappen was pushing hard through the tricky Masson corner when suddenly Hamilton slowed down and took part of the ideal racing line. It looked like a simple error at first, but the problem was more complicated. Officials later reviewed radio messages, and it became clear Hamilton was reacting to wrong information from his own team. Initially, he was told Verstappen was on a fast lap, so he moved away from the racing line to let him pass. Then, just moments later, his engineer said Verstappen had slowed down. Trusting this update, Hamilton sped up and moved back onto the line right as Verstappen came flying by at full speed. The two narrowly avoided a crash, but Verstappen had to abort his lap. The FIA quickly summoned both drivers to discuss what happened. What followed was a detailed investigation using GPS data, onboard footage, lap times, and, crucially, the radio chatter. The verdict? Hamilton had indeed blocked Verstappen. Ferrari admitted they gave wrong instructions, but the officials made it clear that mistakes like this still lead to penalties. No excuses. Hamilton was given a 3-place grid drop, meaning he fell from 4th to 7th. At Monaco, a track where overtaking is almost impossible, this was a big blow. This wasn't just a minor slip-up. It was a serious failure in strategy at the worst possible time. Hamilton's decision to speak out publicly shows how frustrated he is with what's happening inside Ferrari's garage. The biggest shock came after the penalty was announced. Hamilton didn't stay quiet. Instead, his words stirred up even more tension inside Ferrari and across the paddock. He made it clear this was not just a racing mistake. It was a breakdown in communication, a serious trust issue between the driver and his team that cost them dearly. Calm but firm, Hamilton explained that he had been off the racing line because he was told Verstappen was slowing down. Then the message changed. He sped up and suddenly Verstappen was right there. "It wasn't my fault," Hamilton said, a simple phrase loaded with meaning. It was one of the strongest things he's said since joining Ferrari. Behind those words is a clear message. His team let him down. Not just anyone, but his race engineer, Riccardo Adami, without directly naming names. Hamilton pointed to confusion and mixed messages happening live on the radio. At one point, he was told Verstappen was flying. Then he was told he wasn't. Hamilton adjusted his driving, trusted the info, and found himself in trouble. The stewards saw it, the fans saw it, and Hamilton knew it too. He didn't need to get angry. The damage was done by calmly confirming that Ferrari gave him wrong data when it mattered most. Hamilton forced a conversation Ferrari wanted to avoid. Now, the question isn't just about the car's speed. It's about whether Ferrari can be trusted to operate smoothly under pressure. When those doubts come from a 7-time world champion like Hamilton, they carry serious weight. Let's talk about the race itself, where the penalty's full effect became clear. Starting 7th instead of 4th at Monaco is a huge disadvantage. This circuit is famously tough for passing. Unless there's chaos, moving up the field is nearly impossible. Thanks to a new rule aimed at shaking up the grid, there was some hope for Hamilton to gain places, but reality hit hard. Without the penalty, he would have lined up just behind Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. From that position, he could have tried strategies like an early pit stop or extending his time on the track to overtake during pit cycles. His strong pace, which was clear in the Emilia Grand Prix, gave him a real chance to fight for a top spot, maybe even second place. Starting 7th, that opportunity vanished before the lights even went out. Hamilton drove carefully and managed his tires well. He stayed patient and avoided trouble in the midfield, but no matter how well he performed, there just weren't enough chances to regain what was lost. He finished 6th, which looks okay on paper, but left both him and the team disappointed. This weekend had so much promise. The SF25 car handled better in Monaco's tight turns. Changes to the suspension and rear wing gave Hamilton more confidence when braking. It seemed like Ferrari finally had a competitive package for a demanding track. But everything fell apart because of one radio message, one mistake in communication, one lost chance. Even Hamilton's comments after the race showed the weight of what might have been. He said the team needs to be reliable with information when it counts most. Without that trust, everything else breaks down. Hamilton's words were calm, but carried a strong warning. This wasn't just about a single error. It pointed to bigger problems in Ferrari's team setup. Fans won't remember this Monaco race for good results, but for showing how fragile the team's current structure is. When a driver begins to doubt the information from his own crew, it's a sign that something serious is broken. Hamilton arrived at Maranello hoping for a fresh challenge and to add to his legacy. But now he faces the reality that fixing the car might not be enough. He may need to help rebuild the whole system around him. As the next race approaches, one thing is clear: Hamilton is no longer just driving the SF25. He's becoming a voice Ferrari can't ignore. Whether this leads to a real fight for the championship or more internal conflict remains to be seen, but the entire paddock is watching closely. Hamilton's public statements have opened a door that Ferrari can't easily close. The pressure is mounting, and how the team responds now could shape the rest of their season. If you've followed this analysis so far, thanks for sticking with it. The story of Monaco shows that even the smallest errors can have huge effects. With the way things are unfolding, the next race might bring even more drama. To sum it all up, this incident at Monaco isn't just a story about a penalty or a misstep during qualifying. It highlights deeper issues inside one of Formula One's most famous teams. Communication errors, trust problems, and strategic mistakes are putting Ferrari's chances in jeopardy. Lewis Hamilton, a driver with unmatched experience and success, openly calling out his own team is rare and speaks volumes about the current state of affairs. His clear message is that for a team to win, every part must work perfectly together, from the engineers to the pit crew to the driver. When that chain breaks, the results suffer. The penalty at Monaco changed his starting position, but more importantly, it affected his confidence in the team's ability to support him when it matters most. Even the best driver can only do so, much if the guidance behind the scenes is flawed. Now, as Ferrari moves forward in this season, all eyes will be on how they handle this challenge. Can they fix these internal issues and regain the trust of their star driver, or will this problem grow and cost them even more? For Hamilton, it's clear that winning isn't just about the car's speed. It's about the whole team working as one. This Monaco episode could be a turning point, not just in the race, but for Ferrari's entire season. Looking ahead, the pressure is now on Ferrari to prove they can handle the situation. Mistakes like this one at Monaco are costly, but how a team responds under pressure often defines their season. For Hamilton, it's not just about the current race. It's about rebuilding confidence and teamwork for what lies ahead. The paddock is watching closely. Rival teams will sense any weakness and try to take advantage. Ferrari's rivals, including Red Bull and Mercedes, know this is a moment to capitalize on Ferrari's struggles. For Hamilton, maintaining focus and pushing forward despite these setbacks will be key. His experience and skill can still bring strong results if the team supports him properly. This incident has opened a conversation about how Ferrari operates under pressure. It's clear that changes are needed, not just in communication, but in how decisions are made during critical moments. The coming races will test Ferrari's ability to adapt and grow. For Hamilton, it's a challenge to trust his team again and lead Ferrari back to the front. This story is far from over. With so much at stake, every race will now carry extra significance. Whether Ferrari can turn things around will shape the battle for the championship in the months ahead. In the end, this Monaco episode is more than just a racing incident. It's a clear sign that Ferrari faces some serious challenges ahead. Lewis Hamilton's frustration is understandable. When communication breaks down at the highest level, it affects everyone involved. For Ferrari, this moment is a wake-up call. They must work hard to fix their internal problems, regain trust, and put together a stronger team effort if they want to compete for the title. The car's speed alone won't be enough. Hamilton, meanwhile, is proving he's more than just a driver. He's becoming a key voice demanding accountability and change. Whether Ferrari listens and acts on that will decide the rest of their season. As the F1 season moves forward, fans and teams alike will be watching how this story unfolds. One thing is clear: the battle is not just on the track, but also behind the scenes. Thanks for sticking with this analysis. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates and insights from the world of Formula One. Stay tuned. The next races could bring even bigger surprises.